Hello and welcome to A Room of Our Own, a monthly show that invites listeners to broaden their worldviews through conversations on cultural and social issues and stories of triumph and struggles, all from the lived experiences of women, Asians, and immigrants. Join us as we explore the world through our own lens. This episode, I have one of my best friends, Emi, joining me. Emi and I have known each other for close to 12 years. She studied English, I think, at City University of Hong Kong. She's now graduated and working. On today's episode, we will be discussing a big, scary topic no one likes to talk about: money. How we handle our money, how we save it, and what our relationship with it is. How do we even learn to budget, set saving goals? Do we even know how to handle money confidently as young adults in our 20s? Instead of asking these questions into the vortex, we'll bring in our guest Emi and see what she has to say. Let's jump right into the conversation. We come from immigrant working class families. That's what our experience has been. And in my experience, immigrant working class parents don't have the time to sit down with their kids and teach them about money, and you just don't have that time. But then they do teach us about money in the way they interact with it. And for me personally, money has always been, if not always, then most of the time has been the main problem and the main cause of the problems in our lives. And it's like they work and work and work and work and work, and it still doesn't seem like it's enough. And it's always so when you see that tension, that stress, that anxiety all surrounding around money, you personally start to think, oh God, when I grow up, I'm gonna have the same problems and same feeling about money, just always, tension and problems. I don't have enough. When I'm gonna get paid? When will I pay this bill? And all that problem and things. But then when I first got my job, I felt like when you get your job, you kind of feel like, oh, I'm not depending on anyone anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling is so good. I don't know how to explain, but
Quite liberating.
yeah, liberating is the right word. It's like,
And then
it's money, and you can just work however many hours you can, and you're gonna get money, and no one can tell you how to spend it. But then that also brought its own new anxieties with it. Like, oh, so this is all my responsibility, and if I use it, then it's all on me, and I don't want to use it irresponsibly. I want to indulge in my wants and desires, but I don't want to feel guilty and things like that.
yeah, exactly. With my the first time I earned money, so at that time, I didn't have that anxiety. The problem was that I didn't have that anxiety. And then it was because in secondary school, I never had to save up money, because in secondary school, obviously you get your weekly allowance, right? And then most of the time the weekly allowance is just used on transportation fees, and then lunch fees and stuff like that. And then at that time, your biggest expense is basically clothing items and electronics, I guess. And then usually for me, at least, my parents, because parents pay that for you, so you don't have to worry about, oh, I have to save for this and that, and then if I don't save, I won't get this and that. So yeah, that was me in secondary school. So I never had to worry about saving up money for big things, because usually the big things were covered by the parents. So when I first got my salary, I was not worried about that at all. Like I was like, oh my God, I got so much money now. I can do whatever I want in this whole wide world. Like like from having like no money at all to like suddenly having this huge amount of money, it's like it feels like you can conquer the world with that money.
Mhm.
And then yeah, like
Also, in a way, though, like you said, I never had to pay for my first phone or second or third phone. I didn't pay for my first laptop and things like that. Um, but when you start earning your own money, then you have to buy your own phone and your own phone contract and your own laptop. Yeah, it's obviously
and
that's part
the
of growing up, and it should be like that. But
and
that's
the thing
that's
is,
what I'm saying, where the anxiety comes from, where all of
yeah.
that was your
Mhm.
responsibility.
Once you start earning, it's kind of like embarrassing as well to ask your parents to like get
Yeah,
stuff for you. Like
yeah,
like
yeah.
small things like, okay, it's fine. Like, hey mom, can you get the like can you get me some bread from the bakery? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
this and that. Okay, but then like
Mhm,
for the big items, it's kind of like embarrassing. Like, hey
mhm,
mom, can you like buy me this dress because I want to go to this party next week, something
mhm.
like that. It's very embarrassing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but that's good to have that embarrassment. I think I feel like some people don't have that embarrassment. Like even when they're earning their own money, they don't have that embarrassment that okay, this is my parents' money and I'm this age and I'm in the age where I'm able to earn money and I shouldn't be asking them for money, especially for big things like we just said, you know?
Yeah. I
So
think,
it's a good thing to
yeah,
feel like that. You're not
I think
supposed to take money from your parents anymore.
the first thing, the thing, I think the first thing I ever asked my parent, like the big thing I asked my parents to buy for me, like my dad, like was that e-reader I got as my
Book.
graduation gift.
Well, that's a
Because
graduation gift. That's not
yeah,
a
I was like, maybe I should just make some excuse. And it was less embarrassing too, because I mean, like, I was hitting a new milestone. If it weren't for my
that's
dad, I
embarrassing.
probably wouldn't have afforded that shit because it was so fucking expensive. Oh my God.
I know. I'm still saving up for that. Okay, so now I found your secret. I'm like, how did Emmy get that? It's so expensive. But then that's not embarrassing. That's your graduation gift. Like you know, like you should. I'm not. We're not saying that once you grow up, you're never gonna ever get any big gifts from your parents. I mean, it's good to feel embarrassed, but not all the time and for everything. Like graduation gift is well deserved, and you should not feel embarrassed about that.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, like you're so busy being the adult, sometimes like you feel like a baby when parents pamper you. So it's a good
Yeah.
feeling too.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Going back to my last point, I was
Uh-huh.
saying, like me personally, I've seen all the negative sides of money, the negative relationship with money. And so even when I buy a book for myself, like a 10-pound book for myself, I'm like, oh God, why did I spend that money? There's always that guilt with it for me because and then people say, "Oh, yes, it's true. When I have money in my bank account and someone says, "Oh, let's go here, let's spend money on this," I'm like, "I don't have any money." I just tell them I don't have any money because I don't want to spend it and feel guilty and
Yeah.
always have that anxiety that, oh, once I spend it, I might need
Uh-huh.
it for something else, for an emergency. So people say, "Oh, you're stingy," and in
Mm.
my head, I'm always like, "No, I'm not stingy. I just have a really bad relationship with money. I'm
Yeah.
not comfortable with it." I've never been comfortable with money. I'm gonna be honest. Like
Yeah.
when it comes to spending money on someone else, there's no guilt. I'll do it. I
Yeah.
want to do it.
Mm.
It comes with a good place. But when it's with myself, I'm like, there's so much like negative feelings
Yeah.
around it that I just don't do it. I don't even look. I even hate opening my bank accounts app to look at my money. I mean, I have to do it when I'm
Yeah.
doing budgeting and stuff, but I don't do it all the time because I just hate it. I just don't like it. I don't have a healthy relationship with money, full stop.
Mhm. Also, like, now that you mentioned, like, the thing about feeling money, like there's also this, like, because we were also talking about like the generation gap between us and our siblings. Like for me, like even growing up, I mean, like, obviously, like, we've seen our parents, like, work hard and, like, struggle and stuff like that, right? So, like, even growing up, even though, like, your parents, they never say to you, like, they never, like, stopped you from doing things because of money or stuff like that. But
Mm.
because you see, like, how hard they're working, it's kind of like you yourself feel guilty about buying unnecessary stuff.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
then I look at my sister, and then I realize that she doesn't have that kind of anxiety, and
Mm,
she doesn't have that kind of guilt.
mm,
And I
mm.
feel
Yeah.
so, I'm like, before I used to always nag at her, like, stop buying all these unnecessary shit and stuff like that, like,
Mm.
stop doing this and that. But then nowadays, like, I kind of feel good for her. Like, she doesn't have to
Yeah.
feel so small. Like,
Oh my, I'm feeling the same exact things. Like
yeah.
on one hand, I'm like, Iman's gonna listen to this podcast, so I don't even. But the other day, she bought, shoes that were expensive, but they were ugly, in my opinion. So I'm like, you're gonna
Okay,
spend
tell me what
money.
brand. Tell me what it was so that I can. Huh?
Nike. Is it
Okay.
Nike or Nike?
Yeah.
So, and Nike have like really good designs, but she had to
Yeah.
go for that one. So I'm like, if you're gonna spend that much money, make it, worth it. But
Nike
but then
what though?
no, I don't know like the shoe series and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it just had this like pink stroke on the back of it that just made it into our primary school PE shoes. That's what
Ah.
they look like. So I didn't really, yeah. Um, Especially when you know how good Nike designs are. Anyway, but so when just like your sister, when I see my sister, buying this and that, like there's so much freedom. I don't care what she says or but there's so much freedom in what she can get and what she cannot, which we probably had. Our parents like uh I remember what my dad once said, like, whatever we can do in our power, we will do for you.
Yeah.
Even if that's like a small power, small limitations and stuff like that. Which that's why you feel very guilty and also very grateful. It's a lot of like
Yeah.
mixed bag of emotions with it. But then like you just said, I also feel very, very like happy and
Yeah.
glad that it doesn't
So,
have
like Apple has the AirPods, right? And like when AirPods came out, like after like like a few months after AirPods came out, I was like, oh, I want to get AirPods, but they're so expensive.
Mhm.
And then like in my head, I was like, I want to get AirPods, I want to get AirPods, but I was not doing anything about it because like it felt like useless money,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Useless money spent on this stuff, like,
Mhm.
and then me here thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna get AirPods, and then cut to next week, my sister has already gotten AirPods. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
And then she already broke it, and then like she got a new one last week.
How did she already break them?
No, like it was like 2 to 3 years already, like
Oh,
right
okay.
when it came
I
out.
thought you were
Yeah,
like last weekend or something like that. But
no,
anyway,
no,
yeah.
yeah,
The last time I bought clothes for myself, it was it? It's 2021 now. Uh, January 2021. When does Black Friday happen? It was around Black Friday, November 2020.
November. Uh-huh.
It was in Black Friday. It was when it was like loads of discounts and stuff. Before that, I had not gotten any new clothes for 2 years, and I just wear like the same old stuff because even when we were younger, we never bought like new clothes all the time
Yeah,
because we always wore So it's just never a thing. Was never a thing for us. And even now, I kind of feel like spending money on clothes is a waste of money. That's why I don't spend too much money
yeah,
on
me
clothes.
too.
And I've just been wearing Iman's clothes because her wardrobe is full of new clothes. She just buys clothes all the time. I feel like she's gonna disagree, but she has so much variety. It was like opening a dukan, like a shop of
Yeah.
shirts and trousers, and you can, make up any outfit from it. That's why.
Damn, Camille, good for you. You have like 3 extra closets you can get access to
Yeah.
in your house.
No.
My sister buys her own clothes and she still steals clothes from me.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying when you and your sister who is like 10 years younger than you share the same fashion. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this.
I think that's really, man. Like, I really like her style, so I just copy her. But I'm the other way around. I copy Iman. Okay, can we talk about budgeting? Because I'm gonna get this book where you can make your monthly budget plans. Because all I've been doing nowadays, uh, up until now, is just get a blank notebook and write months. And the way I budget is I just write down all my, subscriptions, my monthly fees, bills, everything, and then I write down my income, and that's how I plus all my expenses, bills, everything, and then deduct it from my income. Whatever I have left, it all goes into saving. And but I think I'm gonna get a financial budgeting book that has a bit more. It has things like setting a goal, how much money I want to save this month or this week, and um, how much money I want to have by the end of the year. It kind of gives you scope to look forward to, and it's not just making sure I don't uh, overuse more than I have. It's also geared more towards saving, which I think I haven't been doing really well. Actually, I have been doing well saving. I always forget that committee is saving. So, have you heard of committee? It's basically the English word committee, but with our Urdu accent, we've made it into committee. And it's this thing where people get together, they put certain,
I know.
yeah,
I know.
they put
Even my mom does it.
really.
Is it the
Go
one where like each month like people gather up money and then like, okay, this month this person gets the total amount, next month next person gets the total amount, third month next person gets
exactly. Exactly. But you still have to pay, for a certain amount,
every
no
month.
matter, like,
Yeah.
depending on how many people joined the pool. And that's like such a good way, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's basically like getting a loan from the bank without the interest and without the.
But my mom said like in theirs, like the first person to like get the money has to pay interest.
Oh, okay, we don't have
Like,
any
but
interest at all.
not a big interest though,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah.
a small
Yeah,
percent.
yeah, we don't have any interest. That's why and so when it's your turn, you get all that money, and it is all your money because you've been paying for it, you
Yeah,
know. So it is your money, and within that whole group is just your money circulating around. That's
yeah,
it. No one loses it. Obviously, you need to have receipts and documentation. A lot of people don't have these receipts and documentations, and like, when are you gonna get your? And everyone has the same copy of those documents, and if they don't have that, fights break out, and obviously bad things happen. um I save, but I don't save a lot. That's what I'm saying. And I'm the
yeah,
guy, I save, so it takes time to build up that money.
yeah,
And I'm like, I want to give loads, like 200, 400, so then when it's my turn in committee, I'll get that big sum of money and just put it in my savings account. Like, that's so much better. It's like
yeah,
the most of the hassle is off your shoulder. You just pay money, and once you get it, you put it in your bank. Finish.
yeah. Even
Yeah.
for me, like I think for me, like the biggest hazard to my money is me seeing the money in my
Mm.
bank account. Like that's the biggest problem. So if I
Yeah.
don't see that shit, I'm good.
Yeah. Tell me one thing that you've learned from your parents about budgeting, money, or saving money, or spending money, anything. Just like one thing that you've learned from them without them
Uh,
like intentionally teaching it to you,
Wait,
or maybe.
what is the Positive word for stingy.
Frugal.
Frugal.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess three things. I think three things that I can think from the top of my head. First one, save money. I don't know why you want to save money. I don't know for what reason, how you're gonna do it just to save money. That's what my parents told me. And then secondly is, yeah, obviously be frugal. Yeah, be frugal. So I think the third one is, I guess, something related to being frugal is just don't eat out. That's what my parents
Mm.
always say. They have a big thing for eating out. And oh yeah, there was this one thing that is still stuck in my head is my mom saying don't buy water outside. Don't buy water outside. That's
Is this
that's
like
the
an
that's
Asian thing? Like people, Asian people don't buy water up. This is
every time she's wow. Every time she sees an empty water bottle in my room, I'm gonna
flip
have
side.
to run for my life. She's like, "Why did you buy water? Like we already have water in house." Like, and I'm just like, "Mother, sometimes I get thirsty on the street, like, so I want to get water. Then why can't you just get home and drink water? Then, like, just stay thirsty outside. Like, just get home and then drink water."
I learned from my parents about money in general. This is my favorite thing that I learned because it really really works for me. Um, so my parents have separate cards for separate things. So a separate card for bills and rent, separate card for saving, separate card for spending, and that really works for me. I have a separate card for saving, so if I get like motivating money, it's in there. If I ever use my credit card, and obviously you have to pay back the money, I will put any income I get, I will put money into this other card, which
Mhm.
is connected to my credit card
Yeah,
direct debit. So you get what I mean. So I put money in that, and when monthly the day comes when I have to pay back to the credit card, it just goes from that card. So it doesn't affect any of my other money in my other cards.
yeah.
So I have the saving card, I have the nationwide card where the credit card money goes, and I have my main card. In my main card is Monzo, and Monzo is really good because you get your income, and then you can put it into different pots. So I have a subscription pot where all my subscription money goes. I have the bill pot where my phone bills and things like that go, and then I have uh, rent,
Yeah.
and then I have saving. But that saving is not like the saving. It's like if once I've divided all my income money into those pots,
Yeah.
whatever money I have left,
Mhm.
I will half it and
Mhm.
then put half of it in the savings, and the half of it is my spending money for the month. That's how I do it. Sometimes
That's
the
nice.
money is too less to half it, so I'll try my best not to spend it too much, and I usually don't. And it's just, and so when I usually don't, when it comes time for my subscriptions or bills to get cut from my card, it just gets cut from there because it's better. It's yeah. Like I said, I'm frugal by
Yeah.
I'm frugal, so there's always money around in my bank. So I never want to allow my card to go into overdraft.
Mm.
You know what overdraft is? That overdraft a thing in Hong Kong? Yeah, it is, right? So it's where your money in your balance
Yeah.
finishes and then it goes into
Negative. Mhm.
yeah, that's yeah.
Is overdraft the same as like a credit card being
Yeah,
charged on credit card?
yeah, you
This
go
this is
negative, so you've just you borrowed money from
yeah.
the bank to pay for you, and then and then they also put interest on it.
Mm.
Yeah. So I never want that. Yeah, that's how I do it. So that's what I learned from my parents. Having different cards really works for me. I think I shared this with Pooja. I don't know if
Yeah.
she used it and it was Winnie who said she didn't like it. Winnie didn't like this
Having
method. But
multiple cards.
yeah, yeah. I think it really worked for me.
Yeah, I guess it does work for some. I feel like for me, it kind of doesn't work.
Mm,
Uh, but then I guess it also doesn't. I don't know. I feel like it still doesn't work out for me. Because, like, so I have, like, okay, so one is called an integrated card. So basically, inside that one a card, like, it branches off to different accounts, kind of. So, like, it within that one card, they have, like, a saving account and a current account. So, like, if I deposit my salary, then it drops into the saving account, and then you can also transfer your money into the current account with just that one card. And then I also
mm,
have another account, another savings account. But like I mean, like, at the beginning of the month, I do try to kind of, like, separate my money, this and that. But then I feel like for me, it doesn't work out
mm,
because I still kind of access into my main account.
yeah.
And then, but then, like, I already have, like, a mental note in my head about how much I'm supposed to use in a month.
Mm,
So I still, like, abide by that rule. So even if, well, now I have accustomed myself to do that. Like, before, if I see the number, it's basically free use for all kind of shit. Like, I used to use up all of my money. But because, like, the reason why I haven't done that a lot, because like I already told you before, like, I started kind of, like, investing my money into the stock market, kind of.
yeah.
So, like, so all of my savings I just put into the investment thing.
Mm,
And then, like, and then I do try to save some cash in my bank account. But then I still, like, let myself use that saving amount in case I run out of my expense, because, like, I feel a bit more, like, secure about the fact that I've already done my part at the very beginning. It's kind of
mm.
like,
How's that working out for you, the investment thing?
uh, it's sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. But I guess at least I'm saving my money. At least I'm not using up my money. So
Yeah.
I
I know it's gonna sound stupid because I know have no idea about anything about investment. But when it goes
Dude,
up,
even I went, like, I literally watched a few videos, and then I was like, hey, I should try this shit. And then I just went into it, like, with my eyes closed. So even I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm still doing it. But I guess you just have to do it, and then you learn on the way. Like, I
yeah.
don't know how to read the charts at all, but I just put my money into, like, companies that look a bit more secure.
Mm.
Yeah.
I guess there's also a lot of research work into like you need to research the company and
Yeah.
their past finances and stuff like that. It's too much work for me. I want to do it, but but I'm just scared.
Because, like,
Is that one of those things
huh?
where it's one I'm scared because it's one of those things where if I give invest my money, I might lose it as well, you know?
Yeah,
Is it?
but yeah, there is a chance of you losing the money. But I don't know, like, I guess it's not like, I mean, it really depends on, like, what company you're, like, investing in.
Mm,
Because, like, like, companies like Johnsons and Johnsons, or, like, companies like Apple, like, these are pretty secure companies. Like, they're doing very well for themselves for, like, past so many years, right?
mm,
So I think, like, these are a bit more safer choice.
mm,
Like, so, like, even if you do, like, the chances of these companies failing is very, like, almost very minimal, right? So it's
mm,
very safe to put your money into this. But then, unless you are, like, putting your money into, like, maybe you want to risk it and then put your money in like a brand new company that hasn't even earned its revenue or anything, then that like increases your chances of completely losing your money.
Mm.
Yeah, because like you were talking about committee, and then like I was like asking like at first like because like I was really frustrated at myself at the beginning of like last year, because I like I mentioned before, like that whole year I worked for a whole year at this one place and I didn't save a single penny. And then so after I left that job, I had told myself like next time I earn money, I'm gonna save that shit. And then I
Mm.
was really racking my brains like what the hell can I do to save money. And then I asked my mommy like, hey mom, like can I join this committee thing with you, like I want to do this thing. And then she was like, oh yeah, sure, you can join us. Oh yeah, I was asking my aunt as well. And then like a few months passed, and then I was like, hey guys, what's up on that committee thing? And then they totally forgot about me. And then they were like, oh shit, we already started it. And then after that I had to think of new ways to save money. And then I saw, and during the lockdown, like I guess like a lot of people were realizing how important it was to save money, right? And then a
Mm.
lot of these videos were being recommended to me, and then I started watching those videos, and then I was like, hey, I want to take this risk.
Mm.
Oh, and then also because at that time, like the government was giving out the $10,000.
Yeah.
And then because like the government was giving out $10,000, like I thought, hey, this is basically free money. Like even if I lose it, I'm not gonna die or something. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll take this $10,000 and try this investment thing.
I mean, it was
And
basically
then
your money. It was excess in taxes. That's why they give it back. But everyone thinks it's free money, and I'm just
I
like, it's
guess like
your
it's free
money.
money for me because
Yeah.
I haven't paid taxes. I guess not for my parents, I guess. But
Mm.
yeah, and then I was like, even if I lose this $10,000, like it's like like I never even had it. So I just put that
Mm.
money into the investment thing, and then after that it kind of felt good. I don't know,
Mm.
it just kind of felt good. And then after I started working, like I started putting like some portions of my money into that place. And the thing is, like before that, like because like my mom was constantly nagging me about not saving money, right? So
Mm.
even like so because she was constantly like nagging me about not saving money and then not being frugal, and just like literally like making money rain or some shit like that. Like so every time I bought stuff for myself, like I would feel guilty. Like it
Mm.
was like every time I paid for something, my mom at the back of my head would be like, save your money, save your money, save your money.
Yeah.
So like that guilt was really eating me away. Like so
Mm.
that is why like after that, like I started doing that thing. And then like after that, like because I had already done my part with that saving thing, so it felt more, even for me personally, it felt more relaxing to spend my own money, because I
Mm.
wasn't overspending my money. So
Yeah. I might do investing. I downloaded this app. I forgot what it's called. But it only shows you companies that have sustainability, that has tries to be carbon footprint, and
mm,
they're like mostly startup companies that
yeah,
promote renewable energy and sustainable business models, and so they're also like ethical companies that are
yeah.
looking forward and not. So I might, but that's like you said, that's going to be risky because these are going to be more newer startup companies. So maybe not that. Well, I'll
I
try
guess you
and.
can I guess you can like think about like like you can think about that company and think about like if that thing is gonna be a big thing in 10 years time or
Mm.
something. If it's
Yeah,
gonna, even for me, like because I literally don't know how to read those like investment charts,
yeah,
like
yeah.
literally I don't know how to read those charts. But mostly for me, like the places I put my money into are like companies that I think are gonna be a big thing in 10 years time.
Yeah.
So most sectors that I put my money into was basically just EV, electrical vehicles, and gene modification. Gene modification and just the pharmaceutical sector. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, obviously the electrical vehicles, renewable energy, zero waste
yeah,
companies, all these, look like they're going to go up, hopefully. Um, okay, tell me about like one thing that you learn on your own about money. I guess investment is
yeah.
something you
I
did
guess
on your
you
own, learned about it on your own.
kinda. I guess you kinda have to take a risk or something. I
Mm,
guess you have to like. I guess it's kind of like like your relationship with money is just you learning about yourself and what is best for you.
mm,
You
that's
have
really
to,
good point to
yeah,
make.
you
Yeah.
have to really like, cause oh god, cause like at one point I was really bad with my money, and
Mm,
then like I had the sudden realization, and then I decided to make changes,
mm.
and I don't know if I made the right choices or not, but at least I'm here. At least,
Yeah.
yeah,
It involves a lot of self-discipline, self-control, involves a lot of, do I need this or do I want this? Why am I getting this? Like, for example, sometimes, okay, I'm gonna be super honest. I went to my campus to study to the library, and literally everyone is wearing top-notch outfits from Urban Outfitters and ASOS,
mm,
and like I said, I'm frugal and I don't like spending
yeah,
money. And when I don't spend money, I don't feel good. So I just don't touch it. Especially when
uh,
it comes to clothes. I don't know why I feel like spending
yeah.
money on clothes is so wasteful. I don't know why
I
how
think
that
we're on
thing.
the same. I think
So
you're on an I think we're in a very similar boat, but you are like really advanced boat. But I'm not there yet. But I'm still like I still understand what you're saying because I
yeah,
also have similar thoughts. Yeah.
yeah. So when you go into that environment with people your age who you get insecure. Not gonna lie, you get insecure.
Yeah. Mm,
You have doubts and you question
yeah.
yourself. Oh, you go back into that stupid
Yeah.
secondary teenage mindset in that environment. Um, so when I had those feelings, I was like, oh, maybe I should, buy clothes for myself. I should, get new outfits and things like that and stuff. And and that's when I, asked myself like, and at the time, I'm not gonna lie, I moved to Bradford and I was like in between jobs, so I wasn't very secure with my income and wasn't secure. And when I'm not secure, I don't like spending money. And obviously, I had to figure out what my commuting expenditure is gonna
Yeah.
be, what my food expenditure. I was still in that
Mm,
space, but my insecurity and doubts and everything were telling me you need to spend money, you need to get new
yeah.
clothes. And that's when I was like, why? I've never had this feeling where I need to buy new clothes. Why
Yeah.
am I suddenly wanting to spend money on clothes? So in that moment, you really get to like uh money really, like you put it really well. Money makes you think about yourself and what you're thinking and
Yeah.
how you're behaving, why you're behaving this way, you know?
Yeah, like I also went through a very similar phase, like when I was like just beginning uni, but it wasn't like at the beginning of uni. Like I think like around my second year, because I was kind of like making new friends, and then like you want to look cool in front of these people and stuff
Mm,
like that. And then at that time, like that was the period when I was literally like blowing my money off. Like I was not saving at all. But then the thing is like when you're constantly like, and And thinking back, I don't even know where I spent all that money at. Because when I look at my wardrobe, like I don't have anything to wear. Like I literally don't have anything to wear. But I think at that time, like I was like my money was all going on eating out and having fun. That's it.
Mm.
And then yeah, and then like I and like thinking back, I wished that at least I had spent that money on clothes. Like I could have at least had something to wear today, right? But I wasn't spending on clothes either. I was just like, yay, go out, have fun, stuff like that. But I remember, and then even my credit card, like I was shopping a lot on my credit card at that time. And then
Mm.
like at that time, like even though like I was having fun outside, but inside I was feeling anxious. Because even though I'm having fun outside, like inside I'm like, like I don't have a single penny in my bank account.
Mm. Yeah.
And then the thing is like the people that I was wasting all my money with, like they're not even in my life anymore now. So
Really?
like at what, like some of them, not like all of
Mm.
them, but yeah, at what cost was I like wasting my money for? Like now, like I rarely go out. I do go out with my friends, like here and there, like the ones that are close to me, but then like I guess I have kind of like toned down from that period me to this version of me.
I was gonna say though, but that was like you in your 20, 21, 22. That's the period where you make stupid decisions about money and
I agree. Like I'm glad that like at that instant moment, at that time I was like, when that phase had just ended, I was like, oh my god, I wasted my money. I could have done this and that, like instead of wasting my money there and there. And then now, like this year, like I just look back and I'm like, oh, at least I did it that time. And then
mm,
like उस वक्त का like jitna bhi like over expenditure ho, like how big could it be? Like I was just 21,
yeah.
21, right? At
And
least not when I am gonna be 30 and stuff like that.
it's good though because then you made this decision with yourself that I need to save money. You had to go through that. You had to do that to get to this point. You're 23 now. You're gonna enter the work. Working, but you're gonna do masters and things like that. So you've done all the reckless behavior. So you've got that out of your system, and now you're gonna
I
and
kind of
because
want to
it's
do some
stressful.
reckless behavior now, Cammy. Ugh. I want
You
to I want to do some reckless behavior now. Oh, speaking of buying clothes, I don't understand owning many pairs of shoes. Like
never
me,
will never
I
understand that.
I
No.
have one pair of shoes and I wear that one pair of shoes every day. I don't know, it might sound disgusting, but I
I
wear
have
that shoes every
I have four pairs of shoes. Three of them are in white. One of them is in like a beige brownish color.
day. Okay,
But
hold
even though,
on. You
yes,
have three pairs of white shoes.
yes.
Now, I'm not on the same boat anymore.
I told you how I budget, but you didn't tell me how you budget. Did you?
So let's say I get $100 for my salary. So from my $100 each month, like it really depends each month. Like sometimes I save more, sometimes I spend more. But let's say from my $100, like 40 or $50, I try to save. I try to save
Mm,
the $40 to $50, and out of that $40 to $50, I I think I like put $30 into investment or something, and then the
mm,
$20 I try to put in my bank account, but I mostly end up tapping into that $20, and
mm,
then the other $50, like $25, I pay for my credit card bills. I don't know
mm.
why I have so much credit card bills. Like the thing is, I don't know what I spend so much money on, but I always have so much credit card bills.
Don't you look at your bank statements, like where the
Oh
money is
yeah, I
going?
do. Let me see what I'm
Yeah.
doing. Oh, I had McDonald's, I think 4 or 5 times last month.
4 or 5
Wait, one time, 2 times. Okay, I have written down 3 times, but yeah, I'm just gonna say I probably bought some more stuff. I mean, bought McDonald's a few more
No,
times.
but you've written these down, but don't you have bank statements from
Oh,
the app or internet banking?
wait, let me log in. I almost said my uh, bank account name out loud, like the account name. I forgot we're being. I forgot we're being recorded. Let me see what I did last month. Last month was August.
Mm.
I had McDonald's. I bought some. Wow, I did like $400, no, $350 shopping in Fusion. Like, it's kind of like welcome. I don't know why I did that, but I did that. And then I had McDonald's, and then I had Genki sushi, and then I had McDonald's again,
Okay.
and then I did some online shopping, and then again I bought stuff from Fusion for $170. I don't know why I did that, and then McDonald's again, and then I bought that Final Cut Pro for I don't know what reason. That was $1,500.
For your YouTube channel, that's like a long-term investment.
Yeah, a YouTube channel that is gonna die
McDonald's
out.
are posing a problem. McDonald's and Fusion.
Hey, oh, I bought a pair of pants.
So like 90% of your spending goes into food.
McDonald's again. This month I bought I'm just looking at my credit
I
card
wish
thing and then
I wish like this was video format so that everyone could see you reacting to your bank account or bank statement.
I mean like these are not useless stuff, but I'm still like, oh my god, I can't believe I did this. I spent like $500 on like skincare stuff. Oh, not really skincare, but
Yeah, but you're okay. Thing is, you don't okay. Other than McDonald's, the other stuff you're saying don't sound useless or a
no.
waste of. Anyways,
God.
one last thing. Advice that you would give to a young adult or someone younger than you. Someone younger than you? Did I say? Yes, just someone younger about money and budgeting. Look at your face.
I guess
Expression.
just um for starters, I think you can like
I didn't say it had to be good advice, by the way.
okay. So for starters, like so you can do what I did. You can get a notebook and just jot down whatever you do, like whatever
Mm,
you spend your money on each month. Like that, I
yeah.
think, yeah, that's a good starter. And
Can I
then I think,
I'm so
mhm,
sorry.
yeah,
I'm so sorry. You said get a notebook, yeah?
yeah,
But realistically, a lot of people, some people who like to jot down things. So, like you said, get a notebook, but like some people might not want to get a notebook, or if they get a notebook, they won't get into the habit of it. So when I'm
yeah,
outside and I want to jot down the amount of
yeah.
money I spent in a day, I just use my phone's notepad app.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Or
guess whatever works for you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, whatever
Sorry,
is most convenient. So I think, yeah, just I guess if you can save money right off the bat, like good for you. But I guess if you don't have the habit of saving money, like the first thing you can do is like for a month just jot down wherever you're spending your money at, and then by the end of the month just look at what you're spending your money at. Like just now
Mm,
Cami mentioned to me, like I'm spending way too much money on McDonald's, so I should really stop that, and I'm getting fat because of it. So I should really stop that. Yeah, that. And then after that, you can decide like how much do you think you want to spend. I think for some people, it's good to even have a goal. Like, what
mm,
do you want to do with the money? Like you can, because if you have a goal, at least you could work towards it.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Like it's for anyone getting their first job or it's their third, fourth, fifth job and in their 20s,
Yeah.
the best thing you can do to yourself is track your money,
Yeah.
track how you're using it, where it's going. Also, that one of the biggest problems that people our age have is we spend beyond our means. We spend more than we have,
Yeah.
which is
That
crazy.
that still
So
applies to me. So I should really work
mhm,
on that.
yeah, so
I depend too much on my credit card. So I should really stop that.
stop that.
Yeah.
So what I would say is really, look at your income monthly, how much is coming in, and then decide how much is going to go out, and be careful with how much is going to go out, and try not to uh, exceed the amount that is coming in. If you
Yeah.
stay on top of that and you keep tracking your money, I think you're going to be fine. And
And
obviously save money, but the thing about saving money is not that save huge amounts of money. It's not
yeah.
like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just even
Yeah.
like £2, £3, like
Yeah.
20 dollars,
Yeah.
$30, just small amounts a
You
week
can
or month.
literally start out with a piggy bank. Like
Yeah,
even that is like a huge, it makes a huge difference. I think if you want to be reckless with money, you can be reckless with money, but I think at best you should do it only until 23. After 23, I
yeah.
think you should
If
really
you
start like
if you're
getting
still
hold of
carrying
yourself.
on with those,
Yeah.
wasteful stuff, then you've got a problem. Yeah. Yeah, track your money, don't spend beyond your means, and uh, save as much as you
Mhm.
can. I always had this
Yeah.
thing where if when people say save
Uh,
money, I'm thinking, oh my God, save like thousands of pounds. But
yeah.
no, save small amounts, and in a few years' time, it's gonna be thousands of
Yeah.
pounds.
And oh yeah, I like what I think now. Like I just suddenly realized, like let's say when you're in uni, like obviously you can't earn a full-time job
Mhm.
salary, right? And
Mhm.
you're only earning a small amount of money. But I think if at that time you already like create this habit of saving money, like you will in your head you will have an idea of how many percent of your salary you want to save and how many percent you want to use as your expenditure, right? So at that time it feels like you're restricting yourself, but then like once you graduate you're gonna get a full-time job salary. So even like so once you graduate you're applying the same rule, but then within the same rule you're gonna get more, like because the
Yeah,
percentage is being applied to a bigger amount. So like if you like manage to kind of like, I guess you don't have to completely restrict yourself in uni, you can have fun, but you should be aware of what you're doing, right? So when you get a full-time job salary, like it's gonna be much easier compared to saving on a small amount instead of a big amount. Yeah.
yeah. One more thing to also remember is that, learning how to save money, learning how to budget, learning yourself through spending money, saving money, it's all a skill. Like
Yeah.
it really is a skill. It's not something to be scared of. And everyone has like their own techniques of budgeting and tracking their money and figuring out how to handle their income and things like that. So it's just all a skill. So that means you can learn it, and it's
Yeah.
it's a building block to
Yeah.
getting to a place where you're in a comfortable position with money.
And also, like being frugal doesn't mean you have to be stingy. Like being
Mhm.
frugal means, finding small ways to not waste your money, like trying your best not to buy water outside, like
Mhm.
trying best not to buy the same item over and over
Yeah,
again. Like Cami
McDonald's.
has three. Ah,
What?
what about you? You have like three pairs of white shoes. Like, what are you gonna do with three pairs of white shoes? Are you gonna wear on your fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh? I mean, no, no. Oh, I did my maths wrong. Wait, are you gonna wear it on your third, fourth, fifth, sixth foot as well? But
They're
yeah,
nice. White shoes are nice. Hopefully, we will have financial skills as a subject in um, schools, but not like, accounting and all that boring stuff. It's just like actual budgeting and how to take care of
You
your
know,
money.
like remember in Form 1 and Form 2 we had that one lesson that what was that lesson? Home and learning lesson, is it? Like
Home
where they taught
economics.
us how they taught us how to like cook and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they could have just extended that lesson into, you know, like, oh, how to save money, how to do taxes,
And what
how
are,
to how what to do when you go for a job interview. Like they can do stuff like that. Why didn't they do that?
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
God, Kemi, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. Like, I'm a huge fan. Like, I can't believe I'm here. Like, shout out to Pooja, shout out to Aisha, shout out to Neela, shout out to everybody out there. Who, yeah.
Yeah, and you still haven't listened to a single episode of my podcast. Yeah.
That's all for this episode. I hope you've gained some tips and tricks about handling your money, or you learned how not to spend all your money on white shoes and McDonald's. And I hope you feel less anxious, worry, or uncertainty about how to deal with your money by listening to two people in their 20s having no idea what they are doing exactly, but still trying. So thank you for listening. Follow the podcast on our social media and see you next time.